Hello everyone and welcome to your award-winning Kingsport ChamberZone, the show that's all about Kingsport and this fantastic community that we are fortunate to call home. I am Laura Woods with Care Centers Management Consulting. And this isn't Bob. Some of you all may not have noticed that immediately, but instead this is Frank Lett, who's the Associate Executive Director for the Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau. Appropriately enough, known for bringing sports to Kingsport. Frank is pinch hitting. That's one of Bob's jokes. Get it? Get it? He's pinch hitting for Bob today while Bob is out having a baby. Well, Bob's not having a baby. Bob's wife, Laura, is having a baby today. So, Frank, we really appreciate the fact that you're willing to step in and take this over for Bob today.
Thanks for having me. You know, it was either do this or help with some baby duties, so I picked this.
That's, I guess, debatable whether you made the right choice on that, but hopefully Bob, Laura, and little Babaloo, we hope that you're doing well, and Bob, we hope that you're not passed out on the floor someplace. But Frank, you picked a great show to co-host with me today because for our second consecutive show, we are coming to you from the Renaissance Arts Center and Theater because they just have so much going on here. We couldn't possibly fit it all into the last show. So today we get to highlight the Kingsport Theater Guild. It's been our community theater here in Kingsport for over 68 years. We can't wait to tell you what they have on the playbill for the fall and the spring season, as well as talk to you about how you can get involved with that great organization.
And we'll also talk to some folks with the Kingsport Housing and Redevelopment Authority about some exciting federal grant programs they've taken part in and what they're doing with those grants and other great projects that they're leading in the city.
And since it's kind of hard to believe, but it's almost time for back to school, and that means here on your Kingsport ChamberZone, it's time to highlight ETSU Pride Week. So get out your blue and gold swag, as Bob likes to say, because it is time to rally, cheer, and get behind the ETSU Bucks and the university that, again, we are fortunate to have here as a presence in Kingsport, as well as so prevalent in Johnson City, too. Lots of good stuff.
Sounds like another great ChamberZone here, live from the Renaissance Center and the Kingsport Theater Guild.
And it is our pleasure to be joined by our host today. Tina Radke is the new Executive Director here at the Kingsport Theater Guild. Tina, welcome.
Thank you very much.
68th season of
Yes.
the Kingsport Theater Guild. That is amazing. That is amazing. So for an organization that's been around that long, tell us about it.
Well, it started off in the barn and then moved to a little bit bigger facility, and of course through the years we've ended up here at the Renaissance Center, and we try to do a youth series, a show in the fall, a show in the spring, and then we also have things for the adults, and we're doing workshops and trying to get the community involved in many different ways. So we're definitely a community theater at the heart.
Yes, absolutely.
We've looked at your schedule for the fall. Can you tell us a little bit about what's coming up?
Well, our first show I'm very, very excited about.
Your what?
Our first show.
Oh, first show. Okay.
What did I say?
no, that's fine. That's fine. I thought you had a cute name for it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Our first show is Non-Ye-He. Yes. It's
Okay, I'll ask that. Your what? Is what?
It's Non-Ye-He.
Okay.
Non-Ye-He. And it's Nancy Ward's Cherokee name. Nancy Ward was a beloved woman of the Cherokee. She gave one of her famous peace treaty speeches right here on Long Island here in Kingsport. And it's a musical that's been written by her 5th great-granddaughter, Becky Hobbs.
Wow.
Yes. So we are actually going to be able to bring it here to Kingsport. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now, so it's traveling the nation. This will be its 4th show here in Kingsport. Its debut in Tennessee.
Neat.
Yes, so we're very, very excited about that. We're already in rehearsal. We still do need a couple of people, a couple of men, especially.
That's your casting call, guys.
Absolutely.
Pay
We
attention.
always need men. And then once we follow that up, the very next weekend, we're going to have Zombio and Juliet, where Romeo's family is zombies and Juliet's family is zombie slayers.
I mean, there's so many things we could do with that, but I'll just pass.
Zombie apocalypse.
Yes, and we have a workshop with that the weekend before 2 weekends before Halloween to teach people how to do zombie makeup and distressing clothes to look like zombies.
Neat.
So we'll have the workshop, and then we'll have the 2 weekends of the show around Halloween. And then the first 2 weekends of December, of course, we'll have the best Christmas pageant ever. Where there are no small actors. Only small parts. No, there's no small parts, only small actors. We've done the show for 15 years. So we'll finish our fall season off with the best Christmas pageant ever, which is always a family favorite. We always need lots and lots of kids for that show.
Okay, another casting call, people. Pay attention out there. Well, and then you don't stop with just this fantastic fall bill. You also have a lot of great things coming up in the start of the year.
Right. We will actually start casting in December for our spring season, and we will start that with Alice at Wonderland, which is a modern-day setting for Alice. She's in the mall with her cell phone, and it gets kind of crazy. And then we move right on to Stand and Deliver, which is just sort of a straight play. It's based on a true story of an English teacher that in an inner-city school that was able to empower his students by giving them the power of speech and able to stand up and do some public speaking. So we're going to do that, and the workshop with Alice at Wonderland, we're going to do a tea party for the kids and have all the characters there, so we'll do that. And then with Stand and Deliver, we're going to do the Poetry Out Loud, which is a nationwide event with that. Then we'll finish off the year with a little Shakespeare. We're going to start with some Shakespeare, end with some Shakespeare. It's Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay. Always a favorite.
Yes.
Very popular.
So now, Laura mentioned casting calls and things of that nature. If somebody from the community want to become involved or come be on stage, how can they make that happen?
They can go to our website. It's kingsporttheater.org, and theater is T-R-E. And we always have the auditions there. We also have volunteer opportunities listed on there. We always need people who can sing and dance and act, and people who can sit at a light board and push buttons, and people who can paint and build and, use a screw gun and do all those types of things.
So even if you don't think the spotlight's where you belong, you have other opportunities for people.
Right. And if you're out in the community, you can always hang up flyers for our shows. So there's lots of different ways that people can be involved depending on their comfort level.
And then for people who want to come to your shows, where do they get the tickets? And do you have season tickets available as well?
We do have season tickets available. They have to right now come into the office or give us a call to get those. The number is 423-392-8427. Or just come by the office, which is here on the second floor of the Renaissance Center. And then we also have ticket links on our website as well.
Neat.
Okay, great. And then, like a lot of organizations in Kingsport, you can't do it alone. You need volunteers and you need donations and all the help you can get. So tell folks if they're interested in helping the Theater Guild out, how they do that.
Absolutely. We actually started a new campaign this year. It's called #IamKTG, and we're going to be releasing a series of videos of people from the community saying, I am Kingsport Theater Guild, because it takes the entire community for us to be able to do this. It takes people writing checks. It takes the janitors in the building sweeping the stage for us before a show opens. It takes people coming to see. It takes people being on the stage. The whole realm of what a community has is what it takes to make KTG. So there's lots of different ways that people can get involved. We have a lot of fundraisers that people can come to and be involved in as well.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
That's neat. I am KTG. Should we hashtag the show, I am KTG? Maybe we should.
You should. And we're having t-shirts made. So I'll make sure I get you a t-shirt and we'll have them for sale at shows.
Very good. And Tina, again, remind us, if people want more information about the Kingsport Theater Guild, where do they get that?
They can go to our website, which is kingsporttheater.org. Theater is T-R-E. Give us a call at 423-392-8427. We're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest.
Wow.
Yes.
All over the place.
Yes.
Social.
Very social.
Which is what we would expect.
Yes. We want to be connected.
Of course. Of course.
Well, thank you very much, Tina Radke with the Kingsport Theater Guild, for being our host today here with ChamberZone. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming.
Tina, thank you. Sounds like you've got a great season coming up.
We're
We
excited.
look forward to it.
Thanks.
Stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to tell you about an exciting housing development project here in Kingsport right after this.
And welcome back to your Kingsport ChamberZone live on location here at the Kingsport Theater Guild at the Kingsport Renaissance Center.
So in its 75th year, we have the fabulous organization here in Kingsport known as the Kingsport Housing and Redevelopment Authority, KHRA. Maria Catron, you are the Deputy Executive Director there at KHRA. So first, let me just welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you.
Of course, KHRA, just one of the organizations that provides a lot of safe and affordable housing for the residents of Kingsport. In part, you've had a lot of success because of some major federal grants that have come up, and so we want to hit upon those here in just a minute. But before we do that, for our viewers who maybe aren't familiar with the KHRA, why don't you tell us just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, we're in our 75th year, which is pretty exciting. We were established in 1939. Kingsport Housing is a housing and redevelopment authority, so we operate public housing within the city of Kingsport. We have 529 units of public housing, but we also do the Housing Choice Voucher, or most people know as the Section 8 program, in 6 counties of East Tennessee. In addition to both of those housing programs, we do special housing programs. We have several grants that work with individuals that are chronically homeless and disabled, housing opportunities for people with AIDS and HIV status, as well as self-sufficiency grants. So individuals that are using their time with us in the housing programs to work on education and employment opportunities so they can move off of assistance and be self-sufficient.
Neat.
Now, Laura mentioned you had received some grants. I know there's been a big one that you guys have gotten recently. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what it is?
Yes. Well, in 2012, we received a Choice Neighborhoods Planning Grant from HUD, and that was really to help focus on the Midtown neighborhood area and to develop a revitalization plan. The main objective of that grant was to build on Kingsport's past planning legacy and really look at creating that blueprint for moving that neighborhood forward. It focuses primarily from a public housing standpoint on Lee apartments, but it also encompasses the downtown area as well as almost 10 residential districts.
And when you say Lee Apartments, tell us where those are located.
They're located on Sevier and Dale. Between Sevier and Dale Street is where Robert E. Lee Apartments is located.
Okay.
And so from that mid-city area, tell us what are the future plans of that grant once you kind of get things rolling.
Right. Well, the planning process has taken place over the past almost 24 months. We've pulled together community leaders, residents, organizations, working on 3 major components. Neighborhood, people, and housing are the major focus areas for the individuals that are coming together. And develop strategies, goals, and objectives to be able to make improvements in that in both of those 3 components.
And with the Choice Initiatives Neighborhood Grant, you've actually been able to get a little bit of an early start with that. Can you highlight that for us?
Yes, we're very excited. Stemming from those focus groups, we've been able to help establish the Midtown Neighborhood Coalition. It's actually being facilitated by former Mayor Jeanette Blazier, who is also a resident of the Midtown neighborhood.
Right.
And it's really having neighbors come together and help promote what's important to them as their neighborhood, and then what can be kind of a catalyst to the surrounding neighborhoods, and then ultimately will be beneficial for all of Kingsport. So it's very interesting. They've already had one cleanup project in the Park Hill district. They're anticipating having another cleanup project in the fall in the Gibson Mill neighborhood. They've developed a Facebook page, so if you are on Facebook, go like their page and keep up with the folks. They meet once a month, and they really are trying to better their community, neighbors helping neighbors.
And this one, of course, this grant dovetails nicely off of the huge success that KHRA had with the Hope 6 grant. It was a major redevelopment success for Kingsport. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. We were very fortunate to be, in 2006, to be awarded an $11.9 million grant to look at the revitalization of our Riverview community, as well as several other areas within the city. Our first phase project was George Washington School Apartments, which is a historic tax credit, as well as Section 8 assisted housing for 54 units of elderly housing. It was from the city's perspective, was pretty substantial in that it was not on the tax rolls when we took it over and redeveloped it, and now it is on the tax rolls and looks at providing over $42,000 a year of property taxes to the city. In addition to that, we had a home ownership phase in the Sherwood and Hiwassee area.
Those houses are beautiful.
Yes, yes, they're beautiful homes. Lots of input from residents and neighbors to really start to revitalize that area. Those homes originally were the speed brick kind of duplexes that were replaced. There was an increase of over $35,000 a year in property taxes from what was there previously to the homes that are there now.
And is that George Washington? That falls in the mid-city section as well, correct?
It does.
Okay.
It does. It does.
Great. In addition to all those great things, you guys aren't only about housing, also redevelopment and commercial retail issues. Can you tell us a little bit about those projects as well?
And I think that's a unique part of, not all housing authorities are a redevelopment arm, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to be the redevelopment arm for the city. I think our most notable project is where the old Kingsport Mall was, where Eastone Commons stands now. That was a really positive impact.
That's an understatement.
Yes, because the amount of additional redevelopment that has been the catalyst for it up the street and across the street from Eastone Commons. We've worked with Crown Point, where the new Food City was there on East Bend Road. We also have established a downtown redevelopment district, where there's tax increment financing for the businesses in the downtown district. There's a facade grant available for businesses downtown to take advantage of that as well.
So you really do permeate all aspects of our lives here in Kingsport. So for people to find out more about the great works that you're doing at the Kingsport Housing Redevelopment Authority, what's the best way to get that information?
Well, there's a couple of good ways to get a hold of us. Kingsport Housing has a website. It's kingsporthousing.org. If you're interested specifically on the Choice Neighborhood Initiative and where that's going and how you can get involved and partner, it's kingsportchoice.com. And then I also want to make sure that folks remember that the Midtown Neighborhood Coalition has a Facebook page, so check them out.
Sure, absolutely. Well, Maria Catron with the Kingsport Housing and Redevelopment Authority, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing all this wonderful news with us. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank you. And when we come back, get out your blue and gold swag. It's Buccaneer ETSU Pride Week coming up next.
I don't have blue and gold swag. And welcome back to this edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone. We are on location from the Renaissance Arts Center and Theater.
And next, coming up, we have Julie Wright Short, the Executive Director of the Kingsport Girls Inc., as well as Chairman of ETSU Pride Week for Kingsport. And school will be starting back in just a few weeks, and with that comes ETSU Pride Week. So welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're glad to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about Pride Week and what's going to be going on?
We've got a great theme this year. It's Family Forever, and we've got a lot of great events lined up to showcase the university. It's an area-wide celebration, as you both know, and we're really excited about kicking things off this year.
It's always a blast. We love seeing all the signs across Kingsport and everybody getting excited about ETSU. And part of the reason they get so excited is because you always have just a huge number of events, something that appeals to everybody. So talk to us about what you at least know right now as far as the events are concerned.
What we're really excited about is the community decorating contest. There's a lot of information available about that on our website. Of course, yard signs. We've done something different this year. On the website, there's a list of local banks in Kingsport who will be providing yard signs, so
Okay.
you don't have to drive all of the way to Johnson City. And then, of course, the 11th year that we're going to have Bluegrass on Broad Street on August 29th.
Fun. That's always a hugely popular concert. And remind us one more time what the theme is this year.
Family Forever, and we're really, really excited about that. ETSU is not just a university here, but we're everywhere.
Sure.
So we want the whole ETSU family to come back and get involved.
Great.
Now, you said the Bluegrass concert. Tell us a little more about when that is and where exactly it is for those folks who don't know, and what happens that night.
All right, well, we're really excited. As I said, this is the 11th year that we've partnered with the City of Kingsport for Bluegrass on Broad Street. Tom Keller is gracious enough to make sure that we have a stage and a great setup. The Bluegrass Band, of course, is our main event, but several of our coaches will be there. Dr. Nolan is going to attend. We will give away T-shirts. That's the biggest draw every year. We give away Bluegrass on Broad Street T-shirts. We throw those out.
That blue and gold swag. we were
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
And-
That's how I can get some.
There we go.
You come
We'll have
down,
it.
you come and see me. I'll get you
Okay,
one
thank
earlier.
you.
We are so excited about the shirts, though, and the band. And that's just a nod to say that we in Kingsport appreciate the university. Of course, we've got the new ETSU that has opened up the branch. We have so many great things. There will be some giveaways, some CDs for sale, and again, great music.
Well, the great music. I mean, the Bluegrass Band from ETSU is just always phenomenal. And I'm sorry, you mentioned the support of some of the businesses, so for example, the banks that will have the yard signs available. If individuals or other businesses out there want to get involved in ETSU Pride Week, how do they do that?
We would love for them to call the university office. I know that there's some information that's going to be put up. Contact us on our website. The alumni office is very committed to making sure everyone who wants to participate in this event has an opportunity to do so.
And just kind of as you mentioned, if people want more information about it, schedule events, the best way to do that is
Through the website or to call the university office, the alumni office, and they will hook you up with anything you need.
Do you know if there's a Facebook page or anything like that for it?
There is a Facebook page.
So they're social
Everybody's
as well.
social.
We
So
love,
social.
we love social people.
It's all out there. I want to encourage everyone just to remember, because as we're promoting the university, just how blessed we are in this area to have ETSU in our backyard.
Well, ETSU is blessed to have you, Miss Julie Wright Short, because you're always so enthusiastic about ETSU Pride Week. So thank you so much for once again coming on the show. How many years have you done this now with us?
Wow,
I don't even know.
I think maybe 10.
I mean, that sounds about right. You know, it's kind of our running joke is that if we're having you on the show, we know that we're going to be talking about ETSU Pride Week, and we love it. So.
Well, thank you guys
Thank
so
you so
much.
much, Julie. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. We'll be back in just a few moments with some more ChamberZone.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone. We want to thank the extremely talented team here at the Kingsport Theater Guild for hosting us. We also always want to thank the extremely talented team at Charter Media for producing our show.
And if you want more information about local news, happenings, events, things going on in this great city, always go to kingsportchamber.org or give us a call, 423-392-8800. And we're also very social, as everyone knows. Social. Facebook, Twitter, look us up, give us some shout outs there, and look for information.
Always watch the Kingsport Chamber Zone too. I mean, your debut episode hosting, which means I need to thank Frank for standing in for Bob. Thank you, Frank.
Thanks
You did a
for
great
having
job.
me.
We appreciate it. And until the next time, that's Frank. I'm Laura, and we're asking you to please be loyal
And buy local. Have a great day.